We're live, YouTube. Welcome wherever you are joining from around the world. As we have people joining the live, let me know where you are joining from. Let me know your city, your country, what part of the world you're joining from. I love hearing from you. And I want to start with a little quote for you about thoughts, just as people are coming in. Don't try to change your negative thoughts. Don't try to change them. Don't worry about them. All you have to do is deliberately think as many good thoughts as you can each day, and they will cancel out the negative ones. If you practice this daily, in a short time, you will have completely retained your mind to consistently generate positive thoughts. Isn't that great? I read that this morning, and it is a great reminder that in any given day, we can pivot and change direction. Let me know in the chat where you are joining me from, if you are either joining live or on the replay. Let me know where you're joining. Say hello or g'day, as we say here in Australia. Love hearing from you. Love connecting with you. I love for this to be a connection. I love for this to be interactive. It's a great opportunity for me to connect with you. And we have Aaron in the chat who is moderating. He will answer some questions. He will also submit some questions to me that people have asked via email. And if you want to ask questions today, if you've got questions as they're coming through, let me know in the comment section of the live stream what your questions are as we go along. I love for it to be engaging and informative. Let's see where we've got people joining from today. I love hearing from you. I love knowing what part of the world you're tuning in from. It's always great and heartening to know where you are joining me from. So we have Soren and Tammy and Sue. Welcome. It's always good to see you joining in to these live streams. You may have caught the title, which is mindset. We're looking at mindset. Who knows that poverty is a mindset? Abundance is a mindset. Everything is a mindset. And notice the words mindset, set of direction, or what you set your mind to. Those that are always getting negative, always pessimistic, have a poverty mindset. They're always thinking about lack. They're always thinking about negativity. They're always focused on the lack of. Isn't it? It's so obvious, it's not a surprise that those very individuals consistently see more and more of those things show up in their experience. It's no accident, because everything is a mindset, that we set the course, we set the direction in which we want to take. I want you to say with me, I am a mind setter. I am a mind setter, and I set my mind on what I want to create in my experience. Because we are doing it anyway. Good, bad, or indifferent, we are creating our reality through our mindset or through the projection of our consciousness. That is how powerful you are. You are the creator of your experience. And you might say, well, I don't create my experience. This is a load of BS. And yet, if that is your perspective, that is what you're creating. I was speaking to a gentleman the other day, and I was talking about mindset. I was talking about creating abundance, manifesting. And he sat there and faced me. I was in a park, and he had a cigarette in his hand, and he said, I can't afford it. Can't afford it, even as he's sucking back the cigarette. See, how many people do we know that affirming all of these things, and it doesn't even make sense? The very moment he's drawing back on the cigarette, you see, he's choosing that lifestyle. And there's no judgment if someone wants to go in that direction. Eat your heart out, I say. But wouldn't you much rather create and believe and be optimistic than to be manifesting some negative reality? Come on. We all know those people in our lives. They're pessimistic. They're negative. And all they see in their experience is more to be pessimistic about, more to be negative about, because they are creating by their mindset, by the projection of their consciousness. And be honest with me today. You know, you can be really honest. This is an honest space. Who's been negative in the past? Let me know in the comments. If you've been negative in the past, if you've created and you've known you've created negatively through your mind. We all have those people that we know. Someone has said the kind of guy to read, yes, amazing. Thank you for the love in the chat. And if you specifically have any questions, please write them in the comments because I'm here to answer some of the questions. And the wonderful Aaron, say hello to Aaron, who is moderating the chat, will let me know some of the submitted email questions. Aaron, let's go to our first question via email today. I noticed when I was reviewing yesterday's live stream, I didn't answer enough questions. So today I'm a little bit more focused on getting to some more. I thought I only got to about one question. Let's get to at least 3 questions today. So Aaron has said that Jane asked, how can I start using the law of attraction in my daily life? Great question from Jane. Let's think about what the law of attraction is. It is a law. It is a principle. A principle will be useless to you if you don't apply it. It is only through the application of the principle that you're going to see the effect of it. When it comes to the law of attraction, we don't get what we want, we get what we are. We get what the predominance of our thoughts are. If you don't like the experience you're having, if you don't like what is manifesting in your life, you can change the thoughts by projecting different ones. You choose what thoughts you identify with. You choose the thoughts that you focus on, and the focus becomes your life, your experience. Yeah, but I don't like the way my life looks. And that is a mindset. Poverty is a mindset. Negativity is a mindset. They've set that in place, and that their reality is going to match what they have set because that is what they have intended. Now, in this case, of course, these individuals we know, we all have them in our lives, are doing this unconsciously. Everybody is manifesting. Everybody is creating their reality, good, bad, or indifferent. My question for you is, what reality have you been creating for yourself? Isn't it abundant reality? Are you creating intentionally? Are you predominantly focused and feeling and experience joy? Or do you rarely experience joy? I've come to learn that joy is our natural state. And yet, what I see is a vast amount of individuals that are suffering, that are struggling, because people don't get what they want. People get what they are, what they're vibrating at. We live in an energetic universe. Everything is energy, oscillating, vibrating at different frequencies. You might say, yeah, that is just positive thinking. And yet Einstein said that everything was energy, oscillating, vibrating at different frequencies, that it cannot be created nor destroyed, only it can change form. I quote directly from Einstein. If you don't believe me, Google it and read the quote for yourself. Yeah, but my Aunt Pat says that this is all just wishful thinking. If your Aunt Pat manifested that reality and you want to live that life, eat your heart out. That's what I always say. I never set out to change anybody except one exception, and that is myself. I'm the only one I set out to change. I'm not trying to convert anybody. I'm not trying to change anybody. I'm only working on myself. And this so happens to be my soul's purpose. And I'm living that purpose. Now, if someone loves the message, if someone hates the message, it doesn't matter, because I'm doing my thing. I'm living my life. I'm creating my reality intentionally. Some people are going to get down upon it. Some people are going to criticize it. And none of that matters, because my identity, my peace does not come from the good and the bad out there. It comes from in here. When you know who you are, when you know who you are and you start to live with what I call purpose on purpose, you cease to care what others think of you, because the only thoughts that matter, the only opinions that matter are your own. Boy, is it liberating when you don't derive an identity from what others think about you, because the vast majority of human beings are fixated, are obsessed by what others think of them. And when you're free of all that, you can be authentically yourself, unapologetically yourself, and you can fulfill what your soul's purpose is, if you learn what that is. I'm loving the energy today. Who feels this energy? Because it's positive. If you don't like the positive energy, if it's not vibrating at your frequency, there is other places to get energy from. That is the question though, right? Where do we get our energy from? What energy are we feeding on? I think it's obvious what sort of energy I'm feeding on, because you can hear it in the tonality of my voice. You can feel it. You can feel the vibration of it. Yeah, but it sounds corny to me, as some people tell me. And yet, for me, it's not. For me, it's optimistic. For me, it feels good. For me, it's liberating. For me, it's creating consciously and intentionally. And guess what? The result of that is a well-lived life. The result of that is a fulfilling life. When you are fulfilling and when you are living purposefully, when you're fulfilling your soul's purpose, when you're living with passion and direction and enthusiasm, it feels good all of the time. In fact, a prerequisite for all manifestation is you have to feel good. You got to feel good, because what you're feeling, you're creating. That is how powerful you are. Most people are feeling down and depressed and heavy and negative most of the time. And that's what keeps showing up in their experience. Not that they're bad, not that they're unfavorable to the universe or the divine, but because they're creating their life, their experience through what they are. Growth is not an event. It's a process. I'm going to say that again. Growth is not an event. It is a process. And you either commit to that process. You either commit it, or you are creating unconsciously? What are you choosing to do? I know Soren has said, indeed, we have to feel good. How much of the time, this is a question, do you feel good in your life? How much of the time? Is it 5% of the time? Is it 50% of the time? I'm asking that in the comments now. And even if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments. How good do you feel most of the time? Do you have fleeting moments of feeling good, but the vast majority of the time you're feeling bad? How you feel is a direct result of what you've been thinking. If you've been entertaining all of the negativity, all of the negative thoughts, all of the negative emotions, if that is what you've been focused on and ruminating on, that is what you are going to be feeling. Whatever you are giving your attention. This is the inner compass of what we have been thinking about. How do you feel? I feel good all the time, not because it comes automatically. I feel good all the time because I cultivate feeling good all the time. It's an intended practice. I'm encouraging myself. I'm motivating myself. I'm reading positive books. I'm training and programming my mind to focus on what I want to see more of in my life. And the more good I feel, the more good I create. The more good I feel, the more intention I purposely create, because I am creating my life, good and bad. And when I see something unwanted show up in my experience, often it is a message from the universe that I'm focused on the wrong thing and that I need to be challenged enough to take a different road. I get a chance in a moment like that to ponder and question whether I am moving in a wanted direction or if I'm being diverted to something I don't want. It is not so much that our thoughts are powerful. Sure, they become powerful. It's more factual that you are powerful, and what you give your attention to becomes powerful because you are. An important point to ponder, an important reminder, is that we are powerful. Regardless of what we're focused on, regardless of what we're intending, we are creating for the vast masses of people. They are creating unconsciously. They're telling you about how poor they are, how negative they are, how bad the world is. And every single day of their life, they got more of that stuff to see, more of that stuff to focus on. A lot of people are so focused on stuff that doesn't even affect their life. They read news of events that are going on in different parts of the world, and they give all their attention to it, and yet their life around them is falling apart. They can't pay their bills. They can't create anything that they want. Why? Because what you give your attention to expands. Yeah, but this is just simple thinking. And this is just, you're not giving credence. You're not caring for the world at large. Do you think my negativity towards a situation or your negativity is going to improve that situation? We know this when it comes to worry. Do you think by you worrying about an event that your worry is going to bring remedy? I came to learn that all my worry did was to create more to worry about. Who doesn't want to feel good all the time? So for the naysayers, even if this is just wishful thinking, you know what? My life is happy and peaceful and joyful. I get on here and I am grateful every day that I get an opportunity through this platform to share this message that once was shared with me by my teacher, my great teacher. And that teacher inspired me enough to carry on this message to a new generation, to keep this going. Because why? Because I'm special? Because this message is universal. And this will work if you work it. Now, of course, you can scroll through right now during this live. That's your choice. And find something that more aligns to your frequency. But I challenge you is, don't you want to create a peaceful, a meaningful, abundant life? Yeah, but you're just all about the money. And to me, abundance is vastly more about the richness of experience, the richness of emotion, the richness of love that is derived from an abundant lifestyle. Money is a very minimal part of that. Who has created and knows that they have created intentionally in their life? Give me some examples in the comments. I want to hear from you. And as people are commenting, and even if you've got a question, please ask me in the comments. Aaron, we are going to go to the next question on our email list. And hello, Tammy, by the way. It's always good to see you, Tammy. You're always joining. Now, remind me of what part of the US you are in, Tammy. Soren, wonderful to see you. Sue, wonderful to see you. Michael asks, thank you, Aaron, for that question coming through. Michael asks, what are the most effective manifestation techniques? Oh, I love to answer this question. This is so good. For me, I got a 3-step process. Ask. Number 1, what do I want? Get clear within this mindset. What do I want? Number 2, be very specific. Do I want a specific thing? Do I want a specific person? Do I want a specific event to take place? And then number 3, give thanks and gratitude for receiving it. When you give thanks and gratitude for not wanting to receive it, but already having it, you're putting yourself on a frequency of receptivity. You're putting yourself on a frequency of receiving. And the universe has to match always, whether it is good, bad, positive or negative, the universe has to match your frequency. That is why our frequency, that is why vibration is so important. It doesn't just sound good in spiritual circles. I'm raising my frequency. I'm raising my vibration because I'm being spiritual here. Are we on that frequency because we want to receive according to it? You want to manifest in your life. You want to see the things you desire. You have to be on the same frequency. It's like you trying to get a radio station and you're tuned to the wrong channel. You can wish, you can pray, you can hope. Until you change the dial and align with that frequency, you ain't going to get that station. Doesn't matter how hard you try. You are and have to be a vibrational match. You have to be a match to the channel you want to receive. Aaron, what's our next question? And hello, Stacy, that has joined. Amazing. I saw the word guru in the chat. I don't tend to like that word guru But if we ever use it, you are your own guru. You are your own highest authority. And I am my own. We choose what we give our attention to. For me, I read the same old books again and again because I remind myself of all of the principles, all of the mindsets that I want. And by repetition, by reminding myself, I'm getting into that frequency. I'm getting into that flow. Aaron, what is our next question? Sarah asks, how long does it take for manifestation to come true? Well, you have to believe it's true already if you want to see it. You have to believe it is here in the present moment. If you are not in the present moment, if you are not thinking or focused in the present moment, you're either reflecting on the past, remembering the past, or you're projecting into a not yet lived future. You can only create in the now. I'm going to say that again. You can only create in the now because the now is the only moment that ever is and will be. And if you don't believe me, then try to be in the future. Try to be in the past. You can never do it because you can only be reflecting or projecting in the now moment. And we look at that question in more details. How can I? Which Aaron has asked, which Sarah has asked rather. How can I, or how long rather does it take for manifestation to come true? How long, Sarah, is it going to take for you to accept and believe it and be in a vibration of gratitude that you already have it? See, I have to live this message, otherwise it doesn't work for me. I'll only experience it working if I work it. When I start the manifestation process, as you will, when you begin, you don't see any evidence. In fact, often what tends to occur is everything in your experience will seem at odds with the thing you want to manifest. That is your opportunity to pivot and align and create what you want. See, we can't do 3 or 4 affirmations for 3 days and expect we're going to manifest everything we want. Manifestation is the predominance of what you've been given your attention to. How long have you been feeding into negative thoughts? 3 months, 3 years, 3 decades? Well, that which you have given your attention to has become your life. When we try, I emphasize that word try because a lot of people are trying, they're putting out trying energy all the time, trying to manifest. All they're really doing is telling the universe to try more, to give them more trying, and they'll repeat and they won't manifest. We have to know and we have to be grateful. This is really important. Gratitude creates an energy to be more grateful about. When you are grateful, when you know that you have received, regardless of what the circumstances around you are dictating to you, when you have a knowing, there is nobody that can convince you otherwise. There is no one else that can convince you otherwise when you know. Knowing is a higher frequency of wanting. When you are in a place, you can manifest without knowing, but the highest form of manifestation is to know. When you know that you know, no one can take that from you. And it is impossible for you to not match that if you are vibrating at that frequency. It's impossible for you not to. Why do you think people that lose all their money and they have a mindset of abundance, they lose everything in their physical life, they're in debt millions of dollars, they can recreate from scratch because it's a mindset. It's not about money. Money is just a physical object. What is behind money is energy. Everything is energy. Where are you energizing in your life? What are you energizing in your life? The answer to that question will be your life, because you get what you are. Aaron, what is our next question? And if you've got a question, if you're watching the replay, let me know what your questions are. I want to answer them. And I will get... Actually, Aaron, can you now in the live stream, if we have any live questions, can you now type it in the comments for me? Type it in the comments if we've got a great question that's come through live. If we don't, we'll go to an email question. Give me a thumbs up if this is resonating with you today. Give me a like or a confirmation that this is resonating with you. Aaron has said, David asks, can the law of attraction help me attract a specific person? If you are a vibrational match, and this gets into soul contracts, but if you are meant to be with somebody, if you got a soul contract with them, it's going and you're on the right frequency and you're ready, you will attract that person. Now, we often are attracting unwanted relationships into our life because that's the level in which we're vibrating at. Yeah, but I was giving him everything. I was giving, and he was taking. If you neglect yourself, if you're not loving yourself first and foremost, what do you think you're going to create? Why do you think it's so important that we love ourselves? It's not about ego. It's not about being self-obsessed. It is about honoring yourself. And when you give out honor, when you give out love, you receive that back. Now, when we don't love ourselves, I observe this often, we attract narcissistic personalities into our lives because we have not loved and practiced and cultivated and been loving to ourselves. So guess what? We're going to attract something that is vibrating at the same frequency. Lack of love. We often will vibrate at a frequency of getting someone that doesn't also love themselves, which is the narcissistic personality. And then we wonder why. We often get down, poor old me, how did this happen? And I witness this time and time again in the spiritual community. We blame the narcissist. It's all their fault. They did it to me. If you fully love and embrace who you are, you will never attract someone that is vibrating at a completely different frequency. Never. You get what you are. You get what you vibrate at. Like a radio station, whatever you're attuned to, you are going to get that frequency. It's not rocket science. This is a law, the law of attraction. It will work for you if you work it. Aaron, what's our next question? I love answering questions. And hello, Soren. Sending love. And all those people that are sending love there in the chat. I mirror that back to you. I mirror it back to you, giving you a virtual hug. Actually, I said that to you earlier today, Soren. Send you a virtual hug. Emily asks, what should I do if my manifestations aren't working? Well, if you're having that idea, they're not working, That is the energy, that is the thought, that is the frequency you're putting out. It's not working because you haven't accepted it as done yet. We got to bring things out of the trying and the future tense and bring it into the present moment. The only moment that is real, the only moment that exists is the now moment. You have to feel it and experience it in the now for you to see it. You have to believe it first. And you're not going to trick the universe, by the way. You're not that good. You're not that good to be able, I'm not that good to be able to trick the universe. It cannot be tricked. We can try that with other people, but it does not work when it comes to manifestation because we just get what we vibrate at, which is frequency, which is vibration. That is all that goes on. So we cannot trick and get crafty and clever. We have to become that which we want to create in the now moment. Say that with me. I have to become the thing I want for me to see it. I have to become the thing that I want to see it. When you practice gratitude, when you are grateful, and you get out of this idea of waiting, and you get into a place of gratitude, I am so grateful for abundance. And every time you see evidence, it doesn't matter how small it is. Whenever you see evidence of abundance in your life, you get excited. I had a situation yesterday. Someone gave me $1, $1 in this live stream as a, what do they call it? A gift, a token, a gift. It was the first time that it ever happened in the live stream. Do you know how much gratitude I had for that $1? Because it was evidence, and we talked about this, Aaron, wasn't it? It was evidence that we were moving in the right direction, that the changes that we had implemented were synchronizing, that we were on the right path. And I was walking down the street yesterday, and I got a number synchronicity also that I was on the right track. See, when you're going down the right track, you will get things show up in your experience that will confirm to you, and you might call them guides or guardians or angels, that will confirm, or the universe itself, it doesn't matter what language we use, that will confirm that you are shifting, that you are moving in the right direction, that you are creating, that you are moving into your soul's purpose, whatever that is specifically for you. Say this after me. I am a conscious creator. I am a conscious creator. I am creating my life. Now you are the one that is powerful. By what you give your attention to becomes powerful because you are powerful. You are more powerful than you've ever given yourself credit for. I will quote Dolores Cannon here when I say that if we are powerful enough to create any dis-ease in the body, we are powerful enough to make ourselves well. I love using that quote from Dolores Cannon all of the time because it is so true. We are creating, we are manifesting our reality, good, bad, and indifferent. If you don't like the way your life is going, if you don't like the narrative and how it has been playing out, you can change it any time you want. You are not stuck. The future is not set in stone. You're creating it. This is your play. This is your life. And you are the sculpture. You are the one creating the experience. If it's an ugly image, change it. But to change it, to change it, you have to know what you want to create. You have to be intentional. Aaron, what's our next question? I love answering questions. And I love doing it in real time as well. Who's receiving something from this message? Someone has said, absolutely. We are manifesting everything. The great shift is an individual paradigm. That is a great bit of wisdom there. It is individual. And then when we create on an individual level, we come together in affirmation and we come together as a group like we are in this live stream. And by our focused and intended energy, we become more potent and powerful. There is always more power in numbers. That is why when you get a group of meditators that are vibrating at a certain frequency, that vibrational frequency will affect the outer environment, the thing that those people are focused on, because everything is energy. And we are energy. Years ago, before quantum physics came along, people believed in solid matter, that we lived in a random universe, that everything was solid. There was either physical matter or empty space between it. And what quantum physics challenged us to believe, or challenged us really to know, it's widely accepted now, is that everything is energy. If everything is energy, including you, everything is not, as it was once believed to be, solid. It is in actuality just energy oscillating and vibrating at different frequencies. Now, under intense microscopes, this phenomena can be observed. And we've done this at the subatomic level. And they find that when they go lower and lower, that there is just underneath empty space. I've come to know that that empty space is not no-thingness, that it is vastly intelligent. In fact, I would guess that that is the substance of the soul, is no-thingness. Where do we all come from before we were born? No-thingness. Where do we return out of the physical or the world of matter? We return to the no-thingness in which we came from. And yet it's vastly intelligent and creates all form and matter from it. I love talking about quantum physics, and of course I'm not an expert. There are greater authorities on the subject that are far more articulate than I can be, like the great Joe Dispenza. Hello, I've been praying to... Someone is praying. Praying is a great practice. And when you affirm, when you speak in terms of I am, the potency of the prayers go out and are more likely to manifest than I want or I wish or I hope, trying. Because really what you're doing at an energetic level is you're just creating hope and try and wish. You have to change to the I am. Say, I am powerful. How do you feel when you say that? I am powerful. Pay attention to how you feel even in the moment that you repeat it after me, because that will give you an indication of what you believe about yourself. If you truly believe that you are powerful, then you will be powerful. If you believe that you are not powerful, by the very essence that you are powerful, you will get the lack of power, because that's how powerful you are. Our thoughts, either positive or negative, are not inherently powerful. It is that you are powerful, and what you give your attention to becomes. Dolores Cannon called it to become a master manifester. The way she articulated it was to manipulate energy. What does that mean, to manipulate energy? She used it obviously in the positive context of the word. The dictionary's definition, there are two contexts to the word manipulate. In the negative, we know what it means. I don't need to explain it. In the positive, it means to consciously mold and to create intentionally that which you desire. To use an example, a potter with a piece of clay, through intention, through being conscious, will manipulate that piece of clay intentionally to create, to manifest deliberately and intentionally. That is what it means to manipulate in the positive context. To manipulate energy. We've heard it all said on social media platforms like Instagram and here on YouTube. We've heard the vocals of Dolores Cannon share that, to manipulate energy. A lot of people ask me, what does that mean? That is the definition. So there we go. What other questions have we got, Aaron? Please let me know. And John, we have in the chat, Aaron. Can you let me know just as you are doing that? And Aaron, as a second thing, may I request that you pop my email in the chat so that when people have questions, maybe you don't want to ask your question in the chat, you're a bit nervous or you don't like to be public, you can email me personally and I will get to your questions via email. I'll respond to you via email so you can let me know. John says, hello, John. How can I stay positive and focused on my goals while manifesting? And John, this is a continuation of what I've been saying. We have to know it. Now, I always say the number one thing you got to do is you got to get yourself into a feel-good vibration. You have to get yourself into a feel-good space. Yeah, but I don't feel good because I've got all of this stuff. Question is, do you want to see more of that negative stuff in your experience? Because you can have it. I know you don't think that. Because what you give your attention to is going to expand. If you're seeing negative things in your experience, you more than ever have the motivation to shift yourself to a better feeling place. You do that by building yourself up. You know what I do when I want to feel good? I put on music that inspires me. I put on teachings that inspire me. I put on audiobooks that inspire me, that remind me, that get me into a feel-good place or return myself to a feel-good place so I can feel good again. When I feel good, I'm creating wanted things. I'm going to read this opening quote to you again. Don't worry one bit about controlling the negative thoughts. All you have to do is deliberately think as many good thoughts as you can each day, and then you're going to cancel out the bad ones. Practice this daily. This is the key. Consistency. Always is. The vast majority of people are not consistent. They give it a go. They don't finish the book. They don't stay meditating. They try it. They didn't get the result that they wanted straight away, and so they go back, they revert back to what is familiar, what is predictable, what feels safe. Yeah, but that law of attraction didn't work for me, they might say. Question is, did you work it for long enough? Did you live it? Did you become it? That is really the question. There are no favorites when it comes to the universe. There really are not. If this works for me, this worked for my teacher, and I know that it worked for my teacher because I saw them live it. And then it inspired me to be consistent. Do you think it all happened for me overnight? Do you think I built and continue to build what I build and influence and impact the people? Do you think it all happened in one day? No. It was being consistent. It was showing up, even when no one showed up for me, showing up for myself. See, if you won't show up for yourself, no one else is going to show up for you. First and foremost, you got to love who you are. And this is the biggest thing that I see, the biggest thing I see with empathic people. They're giving all their love away to another, the narcissist, that person down the road, that other person that needed it more than them, and they neglect to love who and what they are. And they never manifest what they truly desire and deserve because they don't love themselves. What do you think the lesson in that is? You have to love yourself even in the absence of love around you because you are your biggest responsibility. In fact, I'll remind you of this again, that every opinion that really matters, the most important opinion that matters is the way you think about yourself, the way you feel about yourself, the way you love yourself. That is the only thing that matters. I get criticized every day. I get praised every day. I do not derive a sense of self from what somebody either thinks good of me or bad of me. Do you think I would be able to move ahead if I lived my life that way? No one can live like that. You have to believe in yourself in the absence of all belief. Because if you don't love and believe in yourself, nobody else ever will. And you may have everything in your experience that is saying you're unlovable, you're not good enough, you don't have what it takes, you don't have the skills. But if you don't give up on yourself and you believe enough in yourself, eventually that belief, that energy is going to match to the universe, and then there'll be a vibrational match, and that is when you will manifest your reality. I hope this message has inspired you to love yourself, to take action, and to be the best version of yourself. Remember, no one else will ever be truly like you. You are unique. You are an individual expression of consciousness. No one can be me, no one can be you. By you being inauthentic, by you not giving yourself a chance, truly, you're just robbing the world of how wonderful your uniqueness is. Don't do that. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself in the absence of what you want to see. Believe it anyway. Give it your attention. Give it as much attention than all the other stuff that you've been giving your attention to. Because I promise you, if you are consistent, if you stick with it, if you stay with it, you will eventually become it, because it's impossible not to. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. You get what you are. It's not rocket science. It is just energy. And it's about vibrating at a frequency. If you want to attract love into your life, if you want to attract abundance into your life, you have to vibrate at that frequency. I want the perfect relationship. I want to attract that someone that's going to be loving to me. And yet you're beating yourself up all day long, feeling inadequate, saying that you're not good enough. You're getting that frequency. You're getting more to feel dissatisfied about. You're getting more to hate on yourself about. You have to elevate your frequency if you want to receive something different. You get what you are. There's no cheating the universe. I always spend about an hour doing these live streams. I love hearing from you. Thank you for the wonderful questions. If you're not following this YouTube channel and you are inspired or you like this content, please subscribe, because we share, me and Aaron, the team, share a lot of this content every day for people to be reminded, to encourage themselves to become their best version of who they uniquely are. I'll see you next time I communicate.